Alright guys, there are an abundance of free agents available on the transfer market at the moment, and in today's video I've picked out 50 of the best ones from championship clubs who are available right now. Phil Jagielka may be 40 years old now, but he still played 27 championship matches for Stoke last season and is now available on a free. Chris Maxwell made 86 saves last season in the championship for Blackpool and is now available on a free and could make for a decent backup for any championship clubs looking. It feels like the end of an era with Billy Sharp leaving Sheffield United, but the championship's all-time top goal scorer is now available on a free transfer. He may be 37 years old, but you can bet he still knows how to find the back of the net. Darnell Fisher was one of the most consistent fullbacks in the championship. He then arrived at Middlesbrough and had a torrid time with injuries. Now a free agent and still just 29 years old, I wouldn't be surprised if a few championship clubs took a gamble on him. Henry Lansbury certainly knows a thing or two about the championship. While he only played a bit part role for Luton last season, he could still be a useful option for a number of championship clubs. Now 32 years old, he's seeking out his next opportunity. At one point, Tyler Walker was one of the hottest prospects in the EFL, but after a couple of injury-hit seasons at Coventry, he's now been released and is available on a free transfer this summer. Keshi Anderson missed the majority of this season for Blackpool, but there's surely going to be championship interest in the 28-year-old. He's a silky operator on the ball and knows how to make things happen. After a couple of years at Birmingham, Troy Deeney is now seeking out his next opportunity. He did score 7 goals and provide an assist last year for Birmingham, to be fair. 34 years old now, and there have been some talks of him entering a new role in a player-coach capacity. Sam Clucas's departure from Stoke was expected in the end. After all, he only started in 5 championship matches in this recent season just gone by, and it'll be interesting to see where his next club is at, whether that is in the championship or lower down in the EFL. Kevin Long joined Birmingham on a short-term contract in January earlier this year, but he's now back available on the market, and after playing 20 matches for Blues, the 32-year-old is seeking his next opportunity. Sonny Bradley is looking for his next club after the former Luton Town player hasn't had his contract renewed with the club as they head up to the Premier League. He certainly played his role in Luton's rise throughout the EFL, and a towering centre-half like Bradley could certainly be of use to several championship clubs, although Derby from League One are also interested. A key component of the Chris Wilder Sheffield United squad, which got promoted back in 2019. Enda Stevens is now on the market after not having his contract renewed by Sheffield United. Surely there's going to be plenty of championship interest in him. Having made over 270 appearances at this level, Daniel Ayala certainly knows what it takes to cut it as a championship defender. He's had some solid years with Blackburn, but is now a free agent after not renewing with them. There's no doubt that Jake Livermore has slowed down a little bit over these last couple of seasons, but I am interested to see what's next for the 33-year-old after not renewing his contract with West Brom and being let go. His experience could certainly still be of use to several championship clubs. Football can be a cruel sport, and that was definitely the case for Kanti Dabo, a great servant for Coventry over the years, but missed that crucial penalty in the playoff final against Luton, which ultimately saw Coventry miss out on Premier League football. He is a free agent now and seeking his next opportunity, and I definitely think could do a decent job for a few championship clubs looking for a right wing back. Joe Lumley can be a little bit hit or miss, but he did make 97 saves in the championship for Reading in this season just gone by and has now been released by Middlesbrough. Tom Rogic didn't make that much of an impact at West Brom last season, but it'll be interesting to see if he does get another chance in the championship or he seeks a different option abroad. Just made 4 starts, then 16 appearances from the bench from the Baggies. Sean Maguire signed a short-term deal with Coventry after being let go by Preston in January, and while probably not prolific enough to be an out-and-out number 9 anymore, can still be a useful option as a number 10 perhaps. Luke Amos hasn't played all too much football over these last couple of years, and it'll be interesting to see where his next opportunity comes. The 26-year-old only made 8 starts in the Championship last season for QPR and has since been let go. Stephen Colker has some football in CV to say the least, having played for the likes of Tottenham, QPR, Liverpool, Fenerbahce and most recently Wigan Athletic in his career. The defender is still just 31 years old and is now looking for his next club. Nick Powell can be a very useful asset for a number of Championship clubs, but it's just a question of keeping him fit on a consistent basis. If the money's right, I wouldn't be surprised if a few championship clubs were tempted by Powell. One of the most in-demand free agents at the moment is undoubtedly Lucas João, having scored over 60 goals at this level for the likes of Sheffield Wednesday, Blackburn and Reading. It's no surprise to see so many championship clubs sniffing around. Now don't get me wrong, he has had his injury problems in the past and that's always been a bit of a frustration with him, but if you get him on the pitch on a consistent basis, he will score goals. Jack O'Connell was genuinely one of the best defenders we've ever seen in the Championship, certainly at his peak, and it's such a shame how his career at Sheffield United has ultimately ended. He's not kicked a ball for them since 2020 due to a serious knee injury. Having now been released by the Blades, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up next. Wes Harding featured in 43 Championship matches for Rotherham last season, and the 26-year-old is especially useful because of how versatile he can be. Happy to play as a centre-half or on the right-hand side of the back line. I think at the right club, Sam Byron could be a really useful option at Championship level. He's recently been released by Norwich, having only started in 11 Championship matches last season. 29 years old and a versatile fullback who's comfortable playing on either the left or right-hand side. After just 1 year at Wigan, Ryan Nyambe is back on the free agent list. It was all a bit strange really, the manner in which Nyambe left Blackburn to only then sign for Wigan. Yeah, a little bit strange that last transfer scenario regarding him, but he's back on the market now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few Championship clubs interested if they do need a right back. Speaking of right backs, Maxime Collins got over 300 Championship appearances under his belt with several seasons at Brentford and Birmingham. He has now called it quits on his Birmingham career and is available on a free. Probably a move abroad will be more likely, potentially a move back to France, but if a Championship club does come sniffing, I'm sure the 31-year-old would consider it. Bradley Dack's had a couple of really frustrating years with injury, but let's not forget it wasn't that long ago that he was being linked with a Premier League move. Would you take a gamble on Dack right now? Let me know down below. Daniel Sonali was recently let go by Norwich. It'll be interesting to see where the 26-year-old ends up next. Can be a useful player, plays on that right-hand side, likes to cut inside on his left foot. A couple of years ago had a decent loan spell with Huddersfield where he helped them to the Championship playoff final. Considering the circumstances, I actually thought Curtis Nelson did alright at Blackpool in the second half of last season. Obviously came in under Mick McCarthy but ultimately couldn't save them from relegation. Derby County are considering snapping him up on a free transfer, but I'd be interested to know if there was some Championship interest as well. Joel Latibadair, also available on a free transfer, has even been linked with Luton Town in the Premier League. Will be interesting to see if they snap him up as a utility option. After over 130 appearances for Hull City, Callum Elder has been released following the end of his contract with the club. Mason Bennett did feature in 21 league matches for Millwall in this season just gone by, but didn't hit the back of the net, and with Millwall now exploring other options to get other forwards in this window, he was deemed surplus to requirements. As was Scott Malone, the 32-year-old defender has plenty of experience at this level, and it'll be interesting to see where the 32-year-old does end up next. Gary Medine is available on a free transfer, although he's unlikely to play until 2024 as a result of recovering from a serious ACL injury. Be interested to know if any Championship clubs do take a gamble on Martin Waghorn, a really useful player at this level in his prime, back in his Ipswich days and early days at Derby, but that move to Coventry hasn't since worked out and obviously had a short spell with Huddersfield last season. Joe Bennett didn't have the best of seasons with Wigan in this season just gone by, but at 33 years old is an experienced head who's played plenty of games at this level, and I'm interested to see where his next destination will be and what level that will be at. Jordan Graham is now looking for his next club after leaving Birmingham at the end of the season. The 28-year-old capable of playing on either side. Timu Puki is a Championship legend in every sense of the word. I wouldn't be surprised if his next move was to be abroad, but hey, some Championship clubs could still be interested. While not his best season last time around, he still notched up 17 goal contributions for Norwich with 10 goals and 7 assists. 33-year-old, obviously a previous Golden Boot winner at this level in the Championship. He just knows how to find the back of the net. Arguably the most in-demand free agent right now though is Ryan Manning. He was arguably the most consistent fullback in the Championship last season for Swansea. Great fit into that Russell Martin system. Already a couple of the relegated sides from the Premier League have been linked with him, with both Southampton and Leeds having been sniffing around, and it's understandable to see why such a versatile player can play in a variety of roles and very comfortable on the ball and a good creative asset as well. Chidozie Ogbeni is in massive demand at the moment, and on yesterday's transfer rumour roundup video we spoke about the interest that Sheffield Wednesday have on the Rotherham player. Now that would be a controversial move. While Daniel Johnson has been offered a new contract by Preston North End, he is technically a free agent and free to discuss with other clubs. It will be interesting to see what happens next with the Jamaican playmaker. I'm still hopeful that he signs a new deal with Preston, but I wouldn't be surprised if he moves on. Interested to see what's next for Thomas Vaklik. He played a crucial role in the end in Huddersfield's survival bid, coming in as a goalkeeping option for the second half of the season with Lee Nichols picking up that injury. Leon Balogun is one of 6 QPR players players that were let go at the end of the season, and the 34-year-old is now free to discuss terms with other sides. Reports have claimed that Adrian Flint is keen on a move back to Sheffield Wednesday, this time on a permanent basis. The towering defender spent the second half of last season on loan with the League One outfit and played a part in their promotion push towards the end of the season. Will be interesting to see what's next for the towering defender. And after a loan spell with Rotherham last season, Grant Hall has been let go by Middlesbrough. It'll be interesting to see if the Millers do come back in for the 31-year-old defender. At one point, Liam Moore had a really highly rated reputation, but that's taken a knock over these last few years where he's not played a lot of football, has been sitting on a big contract at Reading, and obviously after their relegation to League One was let go at the end of the season. A fairly similar occurrence for Harley Dean as well. Very much been in and out of that Blues squad over the past couple of seasons. Did end this season playing more regularly, but 31 years old now and out of contract and looking for that next club. Michael Rose's time at Coventry has come to an end. He played a crucial role in their initial promotion from League One to the Championship, and then was sort of in and out of their squad throughout their time in the second division. Wouldn't be surprised if he has a move back to Scotland, but maybe still some Championship interest. And finishing off with the absolute Championship legend, that is George Friend. Didn't really feature that much for Birmingham in this season just gone by, just 7 appearances in all competitions. He's 35 years old now. Wouldn't be surprised if he soon steps into a coaching capacity in some way. But guys, there we have it. That will now wrap it up for today's video. 50 free agents from the Championship who are currently available to be signed. Would you take any of them at your club? Let me know down below. Apart from that though guys, that will wrap it up for today's video. If you did go on to enjoy, please do leave a like, and I'll see you all in the next one.